first thing is for the kid to understand where the power from the dribble comes from. So the power of the dribble does not come from the fingertips, and it does not come from like the elbow. Because if it's fingertips, you're kind of dribbling like this. If it's the elbow, you're kind of going like that. Really, the power comes from the whole arm. So it's your forearm, it's your tricep, it's everything combined. So it's your whole hand dribbling together. And so you want to explain it as the entire arm is giving power, not one muscle is giving power, or not one muscle or one joint is giving the power to dribble. Basic dribbling technique is you kind of want to have your hands spread. You don't want them too close on the ball, and you don't want them like really far. You want them somewhere in the middle. And then a lot of times, like, you don't want to dribble with your palm or your fingertips. You want to dribble with like this area of your finger. So you don't want it to be your nail, you don't want it to be your palm, you want it to be right in the middle, and you want your motion to be just really straight up and down. So my arm is dribbling up and down. I'm not really like moving my hand this way or that way. It's just straight up and down. And so when I dribble, there's no real one place that the ball should be. In general, the ball should be like right in front of your foot, but depending on where you're moving, or if you're running, or if you're trying to cut, the ball may sometimes dribble to the inside of the foot, sometimes to the outside of the foot. I think either of those are okay, but when you first teach it, to start, I would say just teach that the ball lands right in front of your foot. The same thing is important. The same thing is important when I'm dribbling. It's easy for the kids to start looking down. It's easy for the kids to change their posture so that they're rounded, or that they're like that. So it's important that as they're dribbling, you keep them balanced, right? You always want them to be balanced. So you want them to be on the balls of their feet. You want them to be athletic position, butt back, chest up, back straight, eyes forward. And you're just dribbling like this. And you want them looking forward, seeing what's on the floor. Going up and down, same thing with the left. So the basic part about dribbling is I have this hand, but my offhand is, we call it like a stick hand or a guard hand, whatever terminology you want to use. But basically this offhand is going to be in this position, and it's warding off any defenders. All right, so as I'm here, I got this other hand dribbling. As I'm dribbling, I have this other hand right in front of me. So altogether it should look like this. All right, so as a coach, you want to make sure everything is great. If it looks good, then pretend like my little brother is going to be the coach. So the little brother is going to be any of you guys. My little brother is going to be any of you guys. So he's going to come in and he's going to kind of push me. He's going to slap my arm. He's going to push my chest, push my hips. He's going to try to just change any of my motions. And as a player, my job is to try to keep my posture the same, my dribble strong and alive, and I'm supposed to use my stick hand to ward him off. So this is what it should look like. Now that we have basic dribbling down, we're going to start teaching how to change directions or change hands with the ball. So if I'm dribbling with my right hand and I want to switch to my left, the most basic one is the crossover. So basically what we teach is the ball should land directly in the middle, and so I'm here, and it should land right here. So it's in one hand, and I want to switch to my right. It should go right in the middle, and it'll bounce right up to my right hand. The same thing we'll teach with through the legs and behind the back. So if I'm through the legs, you might have to spread your feet out a little bit more. If I'm here and I want to switch to my left, I'm gonna bounce it directly at the halfway point and also in between my legs. So I'm here, I'm gonna go through the legs. I should catch it with my left hand, bring it right back to the front. Right? So if I want to switch the other way, through the legs, bring it right back to the front, you can just practice that. And then behind the back is the same thing. You're going to teach directly in the middle, but it's going to be behind your feet. So I'm here, and then I just switch, and then I go back, and it's just, you can practice going back and forth. The more advanced the kid is, basically the less dribbles in between that you give them. So if he's a beginner, maybe you say 3 dribbles and then you cross. So 1, 2, 3, cross, 1, 2, 3, cross. If he's really advanced, you just go cross, 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 cross. Same thing for behind the back, through the legs. If they're more advanced, just give them less dribbles. So they can go behind the back like that. They can go between the legs, back and forth, or they can go between the legs, non-stop like that. Once they get the crossovers down, the crossovers should be very sharp. Once they get that down, we're gonna teach through the legs. So the through the legs is the same thing. You start in one direction, but the difference is when you're cutting, it's not a 1-2 cut. You're gonna come to a jump stop. So a jump stop is when you jump up in the air, and when both feet land, they land together. So we're gonna teach a jump stop, and if I'm going to my right, I'm gonna come to a stop, and as I jump stop, I'm gonna lift both feet in the air, and when I land, my right foot is gonna be behind, my left foot is gonna be in front, and it's gonna be in a 45-degree angle to the left. So for the behind the back move, it's gonna be the same footwork as a crossover. So basically, if I'm going in this direction, my last dribble will be my right hand and my left foot. I'm gonna dribble, and as I plant my right foot, once I plant my right foot, I'm gonna take the ball and go behind the back. When I go behind the back, I wanna teach quick movement. A lot of times, players might try to really wrap it around, and that's a little bit slower. You want to be able to just push it quick. So as you're going here, you're going to quickly push it, and you almost want to push it in front of your left hand and let your body catch up to the ball. So if I'm here, I'm going to throw it out, and as I'm throwing it out, I'm gonna throw it out, and as I throw it out, I'm going to almost reach with my left hand and my left foot and grab the ball. For the spin move, it's very different than the other 3 because my plant foot that I cut off of, like if I'm going to my left, right? Normally when my left foot plants, I'm gonna cut in the other direction. But in this situation, with the spin move, it's the opposite. When I plant my right foot, I'm gonna spin in the other direction. If I'm going to my right and I wanna go to my left, I'm going to my right, I plant my left foot, and then I spin.